So I was interested in hearing your process in still photography from planning, shooting, post-processing, delivery, and file management.
So in video production,
Photography, still photography specifically, is the
okay. When I
first.
was in the Navy, I did both. I did photography and I did video. So photography, I would go out to any assignment that the Navy would give me at anywhere in the world because I was activated a lot because I was a one man band. I had a technical specialty rate where they would activate me to go active duty at a base, and sometimes I would go with a reporter or I'd go by myself. So I would shoot the photographs needed to tell the story of the combat unit if they were getting ready to deploy. And I would take basically the photos of what they're doing and preparing for, and I would put cut lines to each picture that went into the Navy magazine or to the Navy Media Center in Washington, and then I would send them an email of what it all detailed. And that was, like I said, worldwide. Video, they would send me out on missions, pretty much the same thing all around the world, different bases. Uh, you're doing a video documentation of a unit. It's basically like I call it positive propaganda. You put together a news story, and then all my stuff went world. It went to the Pentagon channel, and then it was distributed to all the military links throughout the world. So that's my pride comes in that what I did was being seen by the world. Now my biggest mission, they hired me to go to Iraq in 2007 and to kind of do the same thing, and I had no idea, but within the first week they had me out on a combat doing combat coverage, and that was very challenging because it's like you feel like, hey, I don't want to die, but you figure all the guys before you that were thrown into situations in harm's way and they lost their lives. But I had to just basically tighten my belt, say I can do it. I did it with everything I did and provided for the Navy. They were very pleased with what I did. They gave me 5 medals after a 9-month deployment there, which I was just totally blown away for all my work I did. I am a
Impressive.
decorated veteran.
Wow.
Now, if you got specific on things I've done, all I can tell you is I've been there, done that, and seen it. I've seen it all.
Okay. Yeah, I
The good,
understand.
the good and the bad.
All right. Well, you've touched a good bit on this, but so when it comes to video, and let's maybe talk a little bit more on the editing side, since we haven't really talked about that much. What kinds of editing work would you do on these videos, and how would you put them together?
I primarily work on the Adobe Premiere, and I worked on others. When I was in Iraq, they had us on other smaller systems, doing stuff on. If I can remember Sony or something. I can't remember the software, but I had to do a lot of radio broadcasts for the American Forces Network. A lot of radio, but a lot of it was American Forces Network. So you said editing, right?
Yeah, but particularly on video editing. So you would do your own video editing on your own videos.
Yes, I would shoot the video and then drop it in the timeline, and I would consolidate each clip. I kind of because I always give it a little padding, and I would shrink them down, bump them together, a lot of dissolves, and then I would insert my um, trying to think of the word, my sound bites. I drop in my sound bites, and then when there's during B-roll, I would put in my voiceovers. So most of all the stories I did, I scripted them, I voiced, and it's basically a news story. I was very good at what I did as a journalist, photojournalist.
Did you add like the graphics at the beginning and end and the lower thirds?
Yes,
that
yes.
sort of-
I would
okay.
put a title page, and then
Okay.
on title page, the way the military did it, your title page was with your name, runtime, location, date, and then it went into the video. And then on the at the end of the video, you'd sign out with produced by, and then your name, and
Okay.
yeah.
And how would you organize those files? Would you upload them to a server someplace, or?
Are you talking about the stories I did?
Yeah, the videos.
Actually, somebody else did that. I would send them to the. We worked in a team. I was always worked with a big military team, so I'd send it to the next higher ranking person. They go to him, and then he uploads them.
Because there has to be an approval process too.
Correct. Everything I did, especially in war, it had to be evaluated and looked at. And if they didn't like it right, I had to cut it out and then resend it. And then the higher ranking people that cleared it, they're the ones that sent it in, and then it was uplinked.
That makes sense.
Because hey, there's things where I've had. By the way, if I could tell you a little bit about my war experience, if somebody, one of our American troops, died in the green zone where I was at, I had to shoot it as a forensic location, and I could only show so much. But if I showed too much, they would have me re-edit it, and then we would send it on. So yeah, that was the bad part of covering the war.
I'm sure. All right, Tricia?
Okay. What's an example of either a photo or a video or combined project that you're most proud of?
One of the big stories I did, I was on active duty in Washington. Do you know anything about the Navy, Navy Academy?
Not very much other than it's there. Yeah.
Okay, they have something called Hell Week, where they have to go through all these accomplishments and events as they progress into graduating. And I did a really big story of everything that they went through, and it was like a 2-minute story. That was one of my longest stories in the Navy, because majority of my stories in the Navy were probably about a minute to a minute and a half, and I have all these. I have probably these links put away somewhere if you wanted to see them. But that, and then my what I'm really proud of when I was in Iraq. As you know, the United States went into Iraq. We bombed it. We destroyed a lot of things, but the United States had to rebuild Iraq. Okay, we had to rebuild the infrastructure that we destroyed. So when I was there in 2007, I had to go documentate the reconstruction of all these places. They call it SWET: sewer, water, electrical, and trash. So all these items or places that were damaged and being reconstructed, I had to tell the story, do a voiceover, shoot the B-roll, and then it was all sent to the Pentagon, because that's where all the higher officials, we're talking the officers, the generals, this stuff went to the generals. So I worked at the very top of the line in the Navy Department with the CNO, which is the Commander of Naval Forces, directly in his office, and I would interview him, but they saw this at the very top. My accomplishments are proudly completed through my military and Navy. And then from that on, from additional, my civilian work, I work for the networks, ESPN, SEC Network. I do UF football, all the sports in the region, and we provide the best quality we can broadcast sports. And you know what? Steve McLean knows me very well. He would even vouch for me and my experience.
Okay, that's good to know. So what sorts of cameras you've probably worked with a large range of cameras over the years. But what some of the other equipment like lighting and microphones and other accessories you familiar with?
I could say I'm familiar with everything because, especially in television, you got to know all connections, all cables, how the runs, and that's in television. For photography, basically, you got to know your everything from your lavs, your handhelds, your XLR, the BNCs, everything that's connected to provide the proper audio and video links. I'm pretty much familiar with all cameras, going into settings, adjusting the audio. I've worked with multiple cameras, multiple ENG cameras, and then of course those the big hard cameras we do in television, the ones with the lenses, the $200,000 lenses on a tripod. So you have to know, if you're a photographer, you better know everything, how that thing functions to correct it. If you got deficiency, you got to know how to correct it.
Fortunately, our equipment's a little bit lighter, so you won't strain your back on it. It's like we use a Sony A7 for video and for photos. So we have some different lenses and lighting equipment.
And lighting, I've been a lighting director before. We set up entire big stages for, like, NASCAR. They have those little stages that they put up with all the cameras and the lightings up on the truss, and then you got to put in the scrims, the filters. Yeah, and you don't do that by yourself. You do it with a team because we're all on ladders. People are handing you things, and you got somebody, a director, telling them where things going. I've done all that. Very familiar with it.
How do you handle your work when you have multiple competing deadlines?
Multitasking, right? You try to do the one that you got as priority. You got to build up speed. You got to be efficient. You got to know your equipment. So if you got a deadline on something, that I kind of have that as priority. And if I'm having problems getting to the others, I let other people know, hey, I'm having problems getting to this, and they'll usually tell you, well, you can stop for a second and move on. I get permission before I make that other decision. Because if I do it on my own, don't do nothing about it, I'm going to get ripped. So it's usually letting my supervisor know what's going on, and they usually give me instructions of what to do. That's how I would handle it.
So also, I'm interested in, you've mentioned this several times, working in teams, because a lot of things that you do, you said you're working with writers, you're working with other supervisors. How do you collaborate effectively with people who have different backgrounds and different skills and different priorities?
How do I work with them, you say?
Yeah, what does the collaboration kind of feel like and look? How do you make sure that you're a good team player and you're also getting the most out of those you're working with?
Well, we have interactions of, we all have different opinions, and most of the little conferences we have, like we had a meeting every morning with American Forces Network, our team meeting. Everybody knew my skill set, and they always put me on the most dangerous assignment because I'm a former Marine. So you listen to everybody's idea, and if you can make a suggestion to them, you tell it in a respectful way. Well, how about this way? You try to give them you kind of give them an idea that you have, or you agree or disagree, of what they say, and then we all kind of work it out together. Then by the time we work everything out in the meeting, we all walk away happy. So it's back and forth banter, agreeing or disagreeing to what we're talking about. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah. I think that's good. Yep.
Okay. Do you have any experience working with online digital asset management systems, like they would be used to store and organize files.
Do I have experience?
Mm-hmm.
Not since I was in the Navy. But the one thing about it, since I'm familiar with everything, something that I'm not familiar with, I am very flexible in the learning and I pick up very fast software programs or things I'm not familiarized. You know, if somebody shows you one time, you take the ball and run it. You might not be familiar with it, but yeah, I just learn it immediately. And I think an
Okay.
average smart person is like that, you know, because when in the military or in broadcast sports, they put me on the things I'm really good at. They want we're all working teams, okay, and whatever you do best, they kind of keep you there. And then after so long, they'll put you on something else. It was like that in the military. But yeah, something what you just mentioned is something I didn't have to do much. I just didn't have to deal much with it. But like I said,
Yep.
it'd be easy for me, I think, to just learn it and then go from there.
Yep. We try to pick software that is easy to learn versus the more difficult to learn. So
Sure, and when you have
that's always one of our goals.
and when you have a passion for this type of work, you want to be the best you can and be very professional at it. You want to put out a very good product so you can be proud and make your team and boss happy. You know.
Yep. All of the above.
What questions do you have for us, Rod?
You primarily do most of your work on campus.
Our
Yes.
office, we're located in Dower Hall, on main campus, in the heart of main campus, and we are here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Those hours are flexible. Like Doug comes in earlier and leaves earlier to miss rush hour on either side.
Nice.
And it's very unusual. It's not a few times a year. There will be an assignment that happens either late evening or late afternoon or early evening, and then maybe twice a year. Mostly the graduations will shoot up that happen on the weekends, but it's pretty much Monday through Friday, kind of regular office hours.
You know, that would be a godsend because, you know, like I was telling you about my television career, there's a lot of times where if we're working a big venue and the average time on a sports gig is 11 to 12 hours, and there's times where they'll stretch a sport event up to 13 hours, and it's grueling. And at my age, I have to stay so physically fit with cardio to be able to put up with this and not peter out, not say, oh, I'm tired, I can't do this. I never give them an excuse I'm tired because I keep fit. So yeah, that would be a godsend because, like I said, working freelance is something I want to get out of.
All right. Anything else?
Are you by any chance work with Matt Aperson?
We send him a PowerPoint once a year. That's my.
Well, you tell
that's my
Matt. You
interaction
tell
with
Matt
him.
you interviewed Mr. Trevino. He knows me from all my sports stuff I did. So hopefully I made a good impression with him and Mr. McLean. They both know me. So if I can throw those names at you.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed talking to you. But I pretty much understand everything you said. But all I can say is I want to bring to you. It's not about the money. I think I requested more money, but it's not about the money. It's about what you want to offer me, because I am a retired Navy specialist, and it's about what I can bring you. What can I do for you? My skills, my everything I've learned through life, and it's like passing the torch to younger people. There's things that they're going to teach me, but there's things I'm going to teach them.
I'm sure. Okay.
Could you send us some of your work? Do you like if you have PDFs or examples of your photo or
links to things.
videos?
Do you want
Links to
photos and a couple? I have some of my Navy broadcasts. I do voiceovers for weather for American Forces Network. I done. I don't want to send you. I don't need to send you any of my my combat video. Those are kind of restricted, but I'll send you my lightly stored, my positive. What do you call it? The positive propaganda stories I did for the Navy. I'll send you those. I can't send you anything from television because it's all live. It's on. It's probably on YouTube, and
Yeah, that's fine.
it's multi-camera.
Yeah.
If I have that story if I can find it from the Navy Hell Week for the Navy Academy, I'll send that. It's somewhere out there, but I'll send it.
Okay.
I'll send the links in a email to Doug. Doug, I got your email, so I'll send it to you.
Yep. Okay.
How soon do you want that? ASAP.
Next week.
Okay.
Early next week is even fine. If you can get it to us by Monday, that'd be perfect.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I would absolutely just love to work a position like you where I just don't have to run around the world. I'm always running around everywhere, and it's just grueling.
Where are you located now? What's your home base?
I am in Newberry.
Okay, you're close by.
I just bought a house out here. I wanted to get away from the inner city of all the crazy driving and people. And I moved. I just bought my first home.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, so our plan is to talk to a few people this week, maybe into early next week, and then figure out next steps from there. So by this time next week, anyway, we'll be back in touch.
Yeah. Hey, I might not be up to speed the way of everything everything that you guys go through, but it's like I'm so familiar with working with different people and professional people. It's something that I would learn immediately.
Okay.
So it's like you'd be molding me to what you guys do, and I would take the ball and run.
Okay.
If we should go there.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet you.
All right, just
Likewise.
bye bye.
Bye.